if I can. Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, let's see. Just getting set up. Okay. Taylor, what's up? It's good to see you. Where's my camera? Let me look you in the eye. All right. We're doing attacks from knee on belly. Attacks from knee on belly. If you guys did not see it, I recommend checking out the Monday Brain Dump. This week's Monday Brain Dump covered knee on belly attacks, and I had Brad Wolfson with me from Soulcraft Jiu-Jitsu. He showed a couple moves I had not seen, so surely they would be helpful to you as well. And one of them in particular, and I'll show you which one, is definitely going to be something I try to catch you guys in. So it's a leg up for you if you see me now. You can think about how to defend it. But for knee on belly, I think I'm just going to run. I'm going to do a little bit quicker run through these today. But I want to do reps. I mean, the purpose of class is I do reps so that you can do them with me. Okay? So the Monday Brain Dump is really for throwing it all at you. Class is for reps, and we will get some reps in today. So we'll get through as many of them as we can. I'll decide as I go which ones are my favorites. I want to make sure I include. Between Tuesday and Thursday, I did cover all of the ones that we're going to cover this week in live class. So today's review of Tuesday and or Thursday, and some of you are here today but didn't make those, so that's great. That's great. You'll see it here. Okay. Basically, one of the things that helps me the most about organizing information into these brain dumps is when I put it all there, when I say, okay, what's everything I know from this position that I would want to share with you guys, especially with you guys in mind. I'm thinking like, white blue belts, like nothing too crazy and conceptual, but just stuff that'll get you going in each position, plus some intermediate stuff. What's good for me is I start to categorize things even better in my head. This is true for you too, if you're able, from the titling and the Monday Brain Dumps and so forth, to see that I've organized the information for you. It might be more helpful to you to remember the move when you need it. That's what really matters, is that when you need a move, it's there. When you're rolling and you're in knee on belly, you don't get there and you're like, okay, and then they're escaping. Or you never get to think because they've initiated an escape before you launch a plan. So I want to talk about the categorization of this information this week because I think it really will be helpful when you get here. So you can decide what kind of person you are. You can pick your couple favorite submissions, maybe one from each sort of subcategory. And then those will be the ones that you can keep ready to go. You really want maybe 2 moves per position, even though there are 100, even though I'll show you 10 in a Monday Brain Dump. You really want to have 2, especially 2 that like one sets the other up. Like if you miss one, the other one's there. But if you miss that, the first one's there again. That's the ideal game plan for you. So go into any situation with 2 ideas that play well off of each other, okay, strategically. That's just going to be good for you. Okay. For knee on belly, it could be that it's hard to get 4 fingers in, or it could be that you started with the thumb in the collar. So you end up in that subcategory of knee on belly attacks, and then you just do your favorite one, okay? So I'm going to say, let's look first at the subcategory of knee on belly attacks, where I, like from guard and like from mount, I put a cross choke in. Okay, I put 4 fingers in. Let's start there. If I'm knee on belly on Orco here, and I put 4 fingers in the collar, okay, I'm going to give you, 2 real good options from here. Okay, 4 fingers in the collar, you can expect, especially if you're doing a good job of giving the person weight, which by the way means that probably that your hip is over your knee, because that drives more of your weight down in. So be prepared to do that, to hip forward, to give more weight. It's bloody likely that they're going to touch your knee and turn in. Even if they do a better turn in and they kind of put their elbow here and they turn in, I mean, nobody wants you on their belly. That's the beauty of this position. You can expect certain defenses. Okay, but whatever they do, if they turn on their side, in particular if they touch your knee, and turn on their side, I'm going to give you this sort of chopping choke. And it's just a reverse choke, as we do kind of from mount, 4 fingers in, thumb in. But there's some cool like little setup details that'll help you hit it from knee on belly. So those are, when they turn in, I want to take my toes off the ground. So you see these curled toes here? These are essentially, now in part sometimes we do this to make it less heavy, make myself less heavy for my partner with whom I'm practicing. Right? I'll kind of be back here so my knee isn't quite so heavy. You could also be hooking, this leg's job also could be to hook their thigh. So if you picture that their legs are back here, then I would hook the thigh. One way or the other, I'm going to take my foot from the position that it's in, and I'm going to straighten my toes so that when they turn up, my shin just goes pop right onto the floor, just flush with the floor. No resistance. And essentially, I've given the person no resistance to turn. I straighten, they turn. That's great, because I had 4 fingers in the collar. Let me get in there. So I've just landed. They've turned on their side. I've just landed here. My foot is here. Now I can chop, and catch material with my tiger paw, my little fingers, not my whole fist. It probably will be hard to grab a whole fistful of material here, but you can get it in your quote-unquote, Pedro Sauer calls them your little fingers. Grab these right here and start applying this choke. If they start defending, which they often do with the bottom arm, blocking this from coming in, you can staple it and finish your choke, okay? That's a piece that I didn't mention earlier this week. So 4 fingers in. When they put their hand on my knee, I might resist. Then straighten my toes back here so that when they succeed in turning on their side, I just land flush. Now chop and choke, and remembering 2 things. 1, I'm grabbing my little fingers here. Come here. Grabbing my little fingers here, and I am dropping my elbow. That's 1. But the other thing is I am also pulling up with this hand. So as I mentioned on Tuesday, I went to a seminar of Damian Maya's, and I was having trouble finishing exactly this choke. I was like, sometimes guys will turn up, and I'll get this like sort of choke here, and I'll start applying it, but like there's only so, it feels like only so low my elbow can go, or they start pushing my elbow, and he said, well, hey, let me put it on you real quick. And he put it on me, and he didn't just drop this elbow. He did a lawnmower with the bottom one pulled up. So he said, don't forget, he said, it's a 2-handed choke. So you can use both hands. This elbow goes down, this one comes up, and I'm casting. So just like we cast a fishing line, I'm casting, which juts my wrist bone up into the neck. So I'm here, chopping, and wrist bone comes up. So if we're repping this, if you're at home and you want to rep it, this is what those would look like, and I'll do like 3 here with you. I would just put my gi on the ground, or imagine somebody's there, or kneel on a pillow, and just imagine the rest. Or put a gi on a pillow. World's easiest grappling dummy, especially for practicing knee on belly attacks. Okay? You put 4 fingers in, you straighten your toes, pretend they roll up, chop, drop, but also raise the bottom arm. And cast to put that wrist bone in. One time, I'm here. They touch my knee, I straighten my toes. They push me off, I let it happen. Chop, and put all my choke pieces in place. Again, sometimes the person will put their bottom arm in play to block the elbow, and you can staple that with your knee and finish, and they are helpless. Last rep, 4 fingers in the collar, they touch the knee. Straighten my toes, get rolled off, no problem. Chop, and don't just drop. Chop, drop, and lift also. Lift and cast, okay? And that's gonna be your basic standard 4 fingers in choke. Again, we're in the subcategory of knee on belly where I started a cross choke. I've put 4 fingers across and in the collar, okay? Sometimes that's the kind of knee on belly grip that is gonna be available to you. I'm gonna give you one other option from that subcategory of knee on belly, but I want you to think which is going to be my go-to, which is going to be my favorite, so that strategically you have one good option from each sub position, so you don't waste time thinking about what am I going to do here? Oh, what am I looking at here? Like, you don't want to spend that time if you're really in a match or a fight. So next one, this came from Marcio Stambowski, but we are lucky enough in Connecticut to have here. He's a red and white belt, which means he's an 8th degree black belt. The guy's been doing jiu-jitsu twice as long as I've been alive, probably. No, but just about as long as I've been alive. 4 fingers are also in the collar. Now, if you feel that the other stuff's not happening, this is another option. I would say, like I said, pick your favorite. Maybe the person is bracing, like with their elbow, or their hand comes below sort of 90 degrees. Hand comes below 90 degrees. Maybe they're not pushing you off, but their hand is down here. Or maybe this is just your preference. When the hand comes basically below 90 degrees, I'm going to put my head on the ground to keep it there. So I'm going to put my hand on the ground first because I'm not going to dive into the concrete, right? Hand down first. Now put my head down. And now I can step my knee off the belly. So I'm showing you the important side here. What's happening is when my head is on the floor, this hand, he's stuck. He's stuck out of the picture. He would like to defend the choke that I put in next, but he has no option. He has no option to get this arm back in the picture, and that is the arm he would probably want to get in there. But no go. I'm in the way. My head is in the way. So Marcio is a great chess player. Not everybody knows. And one move in chess is to kill the defender before you go in for the real kill. You kill the defender first. And that's what this is. This arm is going to be the reason I don't hit this choke possibly. If I can keep it out of the picture, that's all good. So 4 fingers in. If this arm ever goes below 90, and it probably should be, then I'm going to hop down. I got off knee on belly. Both my knees are on the floor beside my guy, right? My head is on the floor. That keeps that arm out. And you're going to want to put your ear kind of on their arm, and they're going to fight your head. But, I mean, you're good. You only need to push off your toes to keep this position real strong. Okay. And now I can finish the choke. There's probably one good tip that I can give you, which is with that first hand, don't be pulling. If I pull, watch what happens to the material on this side when I pull. Right? It gets tighter, and that's going to be harder to put my thumb in. So I don't do that. I push material. There's a nice loop for myself. Now I shave the face, come down. And when he finishes this choke, Marcio, he puts the head here, where the neck meets the shoulder, right? In this little groove here. That's where the head goes. So where I was keeping this out, maybe with my head on the tattoo, my ear on his tattoo, to finish the choke, this, I don't get a ton of pressure here, but here, all my weight crushes the X of my arms. So it's going to be a good, strong choke. Okay? For practice, I would just do this. Hand, head, right? Hand, head, and dismount. Put your ear on the tattoo. Set up your choke by pushing. Close this up. And then move your head again. So from here, it's hand, head down, ear to tattoo, and side mount. Push material, thumb in, choke, but put your head here to finish. Okay? I put 4 fingers in. Their arm comes down here, touches my knee, whatever he's doing. Scratching an itch in his leg. I put my head on the floor. I'll probably put my hand down first, though, honestly, if it's on asphalt or something. You're going to be glad you did. Hand, and then your head down, and go to side mount. Push the material so there's a loop, right? That loop's not just there. I make it shave the head, shave the face, and then bring your head over here. Okay? And pick your favorite, like I said. Just say, hey, if I get 4 fingers in, the one I'm going to do is the chopping choke. I'm going to let him turn in, I'm going to chop, catch him there. Or I'm going to wait for his hand to go south, put my head on the mat, block the arm out, and then I'm going to go for this choke here. Doesn't matter which one. You can keep both in your arsenal. I'm just saying that strategically, you probably want to have one really good one from each position. And since you're getting to know knee on belly so well, think of maybe one from each sub position. Not a bad idea. So let's look at the next sub position. Yep. Next sub position is going to be if you put your thumb in instead. So you're going to have one good idea with 4 fingers in, one good idea with the near thumb in. So if I'm in knee on belly, it's very possible that I got here because I was holding on to the pants in the collar or something. Like maybe your thumb is just already in the collar. But maybe you get here and you're just looking for a grip and you put the thumb in the collar. Here's the advantage to putting your thumb in the collar, and this comes from some stuff that Brad was talking about if you saw the Monday Brain Down. This person a lot of times wants to turn into me. They want to turn their head and their body, and usually we lead with our head. Or it should be said that if we turn our body, we can't leave our face behind. Right? So when I have this control position, if someone starts to turn in, I can actually just open my elbow and turn them to look away. They look in, I can open my elbow and make them look away. So this is a good control position, honestly. If someone wants to turn in, they're not going to do it without their chin and face. So I just make them look that way. All right. So that said, let's look at an attack from here. And it's going to be the looping cross choke. So I got my thumb in here. Try to get your thumb kind of deep. Like maybe deeper than you normally might think. So center of the back of the neck might be a good place. And it's possible you have access to that area because their head comes off the ground, because your knee is heavy. They go, ugh, and they lean forward. Okay, good. Your thumb gets in deeper. Now, chase the thumb in with the second hand. 4 fingers are in. 4 fingers are in. Now I have 2 hands in on the near side of his head. The thumb side's there. I chase it in with this one. And now I can loop around and finish a choke right here. This one is super simple. Probably a great one to have in your arsenal. So instead of my 4 fingers, and I have my thumb in. The advantage being, if he starts to turn in, I can make him look away. Now, I'm going to get my thumb in deeper, center back of neck. Chase it in with the 4 fingers. So now they're both on this side, not choking them, but here. But I can loop my elbow around and finish the choke right here. Okay, again, if I don't like them blocking me dropping my elbow, I can swim my knee in and staple this arm out and finish it on a helpless opponent, okay? Which is obviously a good way to finish, okay? So I've got the thumb in first. Chase it, loop it, choke. Thumb is in first. My thumb is in here. Chase it in with this one. Loop this around and choke. You'll find that if your thumb is on your near side, not at the center of the back of the neck, that looping is exceedingly hard. Like I'm falling over just trying to make this happen. This dude's like only 2 inches thick. If I was higher off the ground, you're not going to want to be falling. So when I put my thumb in, center of back of neck, that's, I would say, the perfect place. And then this will loop around nice and easy. Staple this if you need to defend the defense. Okay, that's a looping cross choke. So maybe you're saying, I like the chopping choke if I have 4 fingers in. I like the looping choke if I put my thumb in. Chopping, looping. Okay, great. Now you have two strategies, one for each subposition. I would stop right there. But why don't you pick your favorites, right? Because this next one I'll show, which there's 2 variations of, like finishing the baseball choke, it might be your favorite because you'll see it in competitions at the very, very highest levels. You'll see guys put each other to sleep at the very highest levels with this choke. It is a high-level choke that's so simple, anyone can do it, and you might as well put it in your repertoire early in your game so that you get awesome at it as you get better. Because this is a high percentage choke that will catch a high-level guy. You can catch me with this. You can catch all the visiting black belts if you get super awesome at this move. It's definitely possible to become a black belt in one move. And this move, I've seen white belts choke out brown belts, black belts. Like, this move is nasty. Baseball choke. I have the thumb in. This goes under the thumb in category. We do 2 like this. We're going to do 2 like this. Thumb is in. Okay. Now this time, the grip that I put in is 4 fingers, not chasing my thumb, which is option 1. Option 1, I put 4 fingers this way. This time I'm going to go palm up in the far collar, 4 fingers in the far collar. Okay. Now you can maybe see how I'm holding the gi is kind of like this, which is kind of like a baseball bat. And that's why it's called baseball choke. Thumb is in, palm up, far collar, 4 fingers going, boom. Now, I can't choke him without moving. I can try to add pressure from here, but what happens is, look, if you look at my elbows, they come close, but I can't really get this across unless I lean so far as to compromise my base. Unless I move, so I have to move. Thumb goes in, 4 fingers, palm up, go in here. Okay. Now I've got to move. Okay. So next thing I'm going to think about is the near arm. I want to get something over it. Brad put the near knee over it, and then I'll show you the rest of the move. He put his knee over this arm to begin the path north-south to finish the choke here, bringing his head even to the other side. That helps you finish this choke. Okay. But this is the hand that'll stop you, so you have to deal with it. You put your choke in, and you're like, I want to finish, but I have to move. This prevents me from moving, so this is my next hurdle. I can put my near knee over it, or I can put my cross knee over it, and I would say that's the one that personally I've seen the most and done the most with the most success. So this guy's trying to he's trying to block here. He's trying to block this choke from happening. He may already know that have set up my baseball grip. Cutting the cross knee across looks more like this. Cut this here, boom. I want to land over the shoulder with this foot because I'm just gonna slide through, turn, bring my head to the other side. And you can see I'm finishing the choke here. So one more time. Thumb goes in, 4 fingers, palm up, far side. Boom, there's my baseball grip, okay? Now, this is the thing that's gonna stop me. I can't finish here, gotta move. This will stop my movement, so I have to staple or cross knee is right here. The other reason I like the cross knee is you can see I pivot on the knee once it lands. Put it down, now just pivot. Okay. Be aware you don't knee your guy in the face. I took a real good one last time I rolled Joey Carter. A good knee to the face because he came in here. Right when I went, hey, I'm going to try and get out. Okay, so careful. Careful with your knees near the face. But thumb goes in, baseball choke achieved. Now I need to staple and come around, or staple, which looks more acrobatic in the first moment, but the rest is easy. Finish. Okay, that's one way to finish this move. That's one way to finish the baseball choke, which is one of the 2 options I'll talk about today if your thumb is in the collar. Thumb's in the collar. I like the baseball choke, but I have a hard time finishing from the top, or all this, like, which cut my knee across and stuff is hard for me. I have good news. There's a stupid, easy way to finish this choke that Brad got from Majid Haj, or Majid Haji. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce his name, but we had him at PMA, so a lot of guys met him. And that is and that guy is famous for doing the baseball choke. He baseball choked one of the Gracies, Clark Gracie, who he had it on. Clark took his back and he fully finished him right here. He choked another guy from the bottom of Mount with a baseball choke. I stepped over to Mount and everything, but he kept the choke and he finished him. So baseball choke is a forte for Majid Haj, or Magid Hage is his name. Look him up. There's great highlight reels if you want to see baseball choke in action. And this is the other way to finish this choke. And it's easy and beautiful. Thumb in, 4 fingers in. Boom. All right, setup achieved. Now, instead of worrying about this arm, cutting my knee across, switching my hips, do anything crazy here, just look at your knee. Your knee that's posted. Look at your knee and roll over the near shoulder that you can roll over. This way, do kind of a front roll. So I'm going to do it right here. All right, look at my knee and roll. Now, I'm kind of belly up, and I want to turn away from my guy and run this way. I'm bringing my second hand that I put in, elbow to the ceiling. Okay, this is the thumb hand. This was the 4 fingers hand. And as I turn away, I'm bringing this elbow to the ceiling. And man, if you don't get a ton of space, that allows you to finish this choke easily. Okay, more time. I'm destroying this man's bodily integrity. Okay, thumb in, 4 fingers in. Look at my knee and roll. Once I roll, face away from your guy, bring your elbow to the ceiling. Right here. He may roll with it. He may turn over. And you can just finish it from here. He turned over. I'm now on top. And I can finish it from here by putting my head again on the elbow side. Okay. So this is this is my goal for you for today. Okay. If you get your thumb in, you have one favorite move. If you get your 4 fingers in, just like a regular cross choke from top of knee and belly, you have another favorite move. Okay. So those are choke options. 4 fingers in. If you remember, we had the chopping choke, and then we had the one where you block their arm out, right? And you finish the choke there. Use your head. Okay. For thumb in, we had a looping choke, and we had the baseball choke with 2 ways to finish it. The rolling finish being a little more esoteric, so a lot of people won't have seen it. So you will sneak up on people with that, and it's a fantastic finish. Okay. And then, lastly, I want to talk about other stuff. So that's your attacking plan. If you're knee on belly, their collar's available to you, and you just decide which one you want to put in. Okay. But sometimes they're touching your knee forces you to deal with the hand that they've put on your knee. right? We can put our head on the floor and go for a choke if our hand's already in the collar, but maybe I haven't even put a hand in the collar yet at all, okay? And they start pushing my knee. All right, for that, we have the 180 armbar, which is one of our really good moves. And then I also just want to talk about the Kimura setup, and we'll probably stop there today. So the 180 armbar is when he puts his hand on my knee, and maybe he's even disciplined about staying on his back. Maybe he doesn't push me off, which exposes his back over here, maybe his arm. But I'm going to reach into the space created when he pushes on my knee. See how there's like a loop here? That's the loop that's right here. I'm going to put my hand in, underhook it like a Khmer grip. Come here. Hold that tricep, and I'll even roll him up if I need to create space. Put my hand on the ground, bring my knee down his back. And now I'm over here in an armbar. I only need to bring this knee, which was laying down, up to the ceiling so that I have two knees to the ceiling. And now I have the arm. Okay, that's the 180 armbar. So repping that looks like this. And you can do this with a pillow. I would say that's a perfectly fine way to do it. Just put a pillow down. Imagine you have the arm, put your hand down and do the swoop. So he touches my knee. I reach in this hole. Khmer grip on the tricep. Lift, base, slide, knees. Knees come to the ceiling. And now attack the arm. Okay, he touches. I get my grip, lift, base, slide, knees. Knees is an important detail you can't forget because they will get away. He touches. I underhook. So I got my grip. Lift, base, knee slide, and then bring my knee to the ceiling so that I have two knees to the ceiling. I'm going to do two more just because this one is so easy to rep. Get my grip, lift, base, slide, knees to the ceiling. And last one. He touches. Right? I had no collar grips yet. So it's not like I had the option to put my head on the floor. I had no options yet. I had no collars yet. He touches here. Oh, but I can get my hand in. Great. Lift, base, slide, knees to the ceiling. Okay? Or, this is great. Because we're getting into just the third category is you have no collar grip. Four fingers collar grip, thumb in collar grip, no collar grip. No collar grip, but he touches my knee. We have the 180 armbar, or we have the Kimura setup. So let me give my guy back his intestines and heart and lungs. Okay, good. Keep yourself together, man. Okay, my 4-finger choke. My favorite is the chopping choke. That is actually probably true for me. My thumb in choke. Your favorite's the rolling baseball. That's fine. Your favorite thing to do if you don't have a grip yet, it's up to you. Do you like the 180 armbar, or maybe you'll like this here? This would be your other option for here. If he touches my knee, and I have no collar grips yet, another option I have is to sort of, I'm going to use you could use a thumb full grip. I have the feeling that I would not use a thumb full grip, and I would sort of pin his hand here, pin his wrist right to his body. Let my knee move enough that I've got some body to pin it to. Get this here, and now I'm going to put my knee down on the far side of the head and underhook this arm. So I'm going to put my knee down and set up the Kimura grip. From the Kimura grip, we have obviously the Kimura. You have, if you want to fall to your side and do like a squeezing neck choke with your legs, that's the thing people do. Sometimes people like feed this over and they trap their hand there so you can come around and choke them with a paper cutter with impunity. Anyway, ton of good stuff you can do once you set up the Kimura. So maybe you'll like the Kimura entry with the no grips knee on belly. Knee on belly, no grip. He touches. Maybe I like Kimura setups. So I pin his wrist. I put my knee down, and I'm going to underhook this. Pin his wrist. Come into this hole here. Now I'm coming from the underneath in here and set up Kimura. Okay, north-south Kimura. All right. We can rep that pretty easily. His hands here. Pin. Come in from the bottom. Knee down. You want to sit on their head. You do want to sit on their head. Because if you think about the worst Kimura you've ever been in from north-south, you'll probably remember something like, oh, and he was like smashing my head. I couldn't see. I couldn't breathe. That's because they were close to your head. That's because they sat on your head. So you do want to do that. You do want to sit on their head, and you do want to bring your knees together. Careful with each other, right? Like, don't give anyone a broken nose over it. But Not your classmates anyway. Okay. So he touches my knee, pin that wrist. I only need to come in this hole from underneath and put my knee down to be in Kimura here. And sit and squeeze a little bit. That is going to be the most uncomfortable bottom of Kimura that your friend can endure, and that's what you want. That's what you want. Okay. So my goal for you, again, today, you walk away, you take away a favorite with the cross choke, 4 fingers in, a favorite with the thumb in, and a favorite way to deal with what if he touches my knee, but I didn't get a grip yet, and that's going to either be 180 armbar or pin the wrist and come under that, the space that he makes. Okay? All right, great. That's maybe you have 3 moves, even though I showed 6 that you're going to take away and like you're going to have ready to go. And rep those like we did today. Solo drill, you can do just like I did each of these moves. And thanks so much for being here. And I don't see comments live. I'm not sure why. So if you've commented hello or something, I will say hello afterwards, later. Thanks, YouTube. I'll see you guys soon. Take care.